Disclaimer: the stories shared and created are solely for motivational and educational purposes. They are not based on any individual's personal circumstances or experiences. Any resemblance to real persons, living or dead, is purely coincidental. We aim to inspire and encourage without judgment or assumption. Please apply insights responsibly. Mentor wise magnate. Trained to master. Trained to care.
This story is about turning humble beginnings into purpose, how struggle, discipline, and everyday lessons can transform a simple bread seller into a mentor who inspires others to grow and believe.
Once upon a time, in a quaint little village nestled between rolling hills and a sparkling river, there lived a humble bread seller named Elias. He had a small rustic stall at the heart of the village marketplace. Every morning, as the sun rose, its golden rays kissed the old cobblestone streets, and the aroma of freshly baked bread would drift through the air, inviting villagers to stop by and savor a piece of warmth and comfort. Elias was known not just for his delicious loaves, but also for his gentle spirit and wise words. With his kind eyes and a soft smile, he always took the time to chat with his customers, offering them more than just bread. He offered laughter, stories, and bits of wisdom. Although life had not always been easy for Elias, having lost his parents. At a young age and having faced hardships with the bakery, he had learned to embrace the small joys that every day brought. One crisp autumn morning, as the leaves danced in shades of gold and crimson, a young girl named Ilara approached Elias's stall. With wild curls framing her round face and an expression that betrayed her curiosity. She was drawn to the sweet scent of his cinnamon rolls and the crusty loaves displayed with care. "Sir," she called, "do you really make all this bread by yourself?" Elias turned to her with a warm smile. "Indeed, I do, dear girl. Each loaf is made with love and a sprinkle of happiness." Ilara's eyes sparkled. "I want to learn how to bake bread. Can you teach me?" Elias sensed a spark in the girl's eyes, a genuine passion that mirrored his own from years ago. "I would be honored," he said. "But baking bread is not just about mixing flour and water. It's about patience, understanding, and making a little magic." And so began their journey together. Every Saturday morning, Ilara would come to Elias's stall before the market opened. With flour-dusted hands, she learned the art of bread making. Kneading dough while listening to Elias share tales of his childhood, lessons of life, and the importance of resilience. One particularly rainy day, while the sounds of thunder rumbled in the distance, Ilara felt a wave of frustration wash over her. The dough she was working on didn't rise as it should, and despite following Elias's instructions meticulously, she felt defeated. "Why can't I get it right?" she exclaimed, slamming her fists onto the table. "I'm terrible at this." Elias looked at her gently. "Ilara, every master was once a beginner. Bread, much like life, requires us to embrace failures and learn from them. Each loaf teaches us something, even if it doesn't turn out perfect." These words resonated deeply with Ilara. Encouraged, she took a deep breath and decided to try again. They spent the rest of the day laughing, experimenting, and creating a batch of bread that, albeit imperfect, filled the air with an inviting scent. As the weekends passed, Ilara flourished under Elias's mentorship. She began to understand the rhythm of baking, the quiet moments of waiting for dough to rise, and the satisfying result of pulling warm, crusty bread from the oven. But more than the technical skills, she embraced the lessons of kindness, perseverance, and the joy of sharing love through food. But seasons change, and time waits for no one. Winter came, and with it, a fierce blizzard swept through the village. The marketplace was deserted, and Elias's stall remained empty. With worry knotting in her stomach, Ilara approached his bakery one morning, hoping to find him safe and sound. Inside, the air was thick with the smell of baking bread, yet Elias looked troubled. The winter had been harsher than ever, and the village struggled. "Ilara, dear," he sighed, "business is slow, and I fear I may not be able to keep my stall much longer." Without thinking, Ilara replied, "But what if we make something special?" We could invite everyone in the village to come for a bread tasting night. I could help you organize it. Elias's eyes lit up at the idea. That's a wonderful thought. Let us share our love of bread with the community and remind them of the warmth that comes from gathering together. They set to work with a renewed sense of purpose. With Ilara's enthusiasm and Elias's expertise, they baked dozens of different kinds of bread. From sourdough to sweet rolls, they transformed the tiny stall into a haven of delightful aromas and flavors. The night of the tasting arrived, and the village gathered under the soft glow of lanterns hanging from the trees. Laughter echoed through the air as villagers took a break from their daily struggles, sharing stories and breaking bread together. As they enjoyed the whimsical creations, stories of resilience and hope found their way back into their hearts. The event not only rejuvenated Elias's business, but also spread a sense of community spirit. People began to visit every week, sharing their own recipes, stories, and laughter as they learned from one another. In the years that followed, the marketplace flourished like never before. Through it all, Ilara grew into a remarkable baker, carrying the lessons Elias had taught her in her heart. Eventually, she opened her own stall beside his, filling it with colorful pastries and artisan bread, combining their shared love of baking. Years later, as Elias looked at Ilara, now standing proudly at her stall, he felt a wave of gratitude wash over him. She had taken his teachings and intertwined them with her spirit, transforming them into something beautiful and vibrant. With a content smile, he realized that the humble bread seller had become not just a mentor, but a father figure to her, and most importantly, a friend. In a quiet moment, as they watched villagers gather to share in their bread and stories, Elias whispered softly, "Remember, Ilara, it's not just bread we make, it's connections and love baked into every loaf we share." And just like that, their journey, filled with warmth, community, and the magic of baking, continued, proving that the simplest things could create the most enduring bonds.
Now, let's make sure you know how to reach us. Here are our contact details. Simple, easy, and ready whenever you are. You can connect with us through... Remember, taking the first step to reach out is the start of your journey toward growth and success. Keep this information handy and don't hesitate to reach out. Your future starts with action today.
Be part of Mentor Wise Magnet, Mentors on a Mission Dynasty. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to join the conversation.